Today on Unboxing Tomorrow, I have another installation, this time for a very versatile communication system called a software-defined radio, or SDR. It's actually something we discuss a lot here. However, this installation applies mostly to the Raspberry Pi and other distros based on Debian Linux. Specifically, I'm focusing on the Realtek SDR chipset, also simply known as rtl-sdr. To get started, I'm assuming that you already have one of these rtl-sdr dongles available, along with a working copy of the Raspberry Pi operating system. If your Raspberry Pi is newly purchased and is basically blank, I have a complete write-up on my website that shows exactly how I got these two units working here. I recommend doing all this work at an anti-static workstation. You will know you're ready for this video if you're able to open up the terminal, make sure you're connected to the internet, and upgrade software packages. In fact, that's exactly how I'll start today. So as step one, I'm going to do a sudo apt-get update and a apt-get upgrade. While this process is going on, I have a couple of announcements. First, when you're using the radio receiver, make sure to check the laws in your location. Every nation and region is a little bit different, and you should not try to receive radio signals or particular radio bands unless it's legal to do so. Secondly, I'd like to thank TorGuard VPN for making this video possible. More on that later, but if you'd like to help protect your data from online hackers and cyber criminals, you can check the link in the description. When you use that link to sign up, Unboxing Tomorrow receives a small commission to help fund these ongoing projects. Finally, and maybe this has changed recently, but I'm going to be installing rtl-sdr from source rather than through the package manager. The package manager is an option. However, just like usual, you'll typically find that this version is a little bit out of date compared to what's on the official repository. And with those updates out of the way, I'm going to take an extra step to make sure that the rtl-sdr drivers are actually going to work using a file that I'm going to call no-rtl.conf. So use the nano text editor by typing in sudo nano /etc/modprobe.d /no-rtl.conf. If you're new to Linux, just keep in mind that Ctrl-O is how you save in this program. I'm going to add 3 configuration lines to help make sure that any pre-existing drivers will not interfere with this installation. I'll do this by typing in blacklist dvb usb rtl28xxu, and then I'll also blacklist rtl2832 and rtl2830. Save everything using Ctrl-O, and then exit by typing Ctrl-X. For good measure, you should probably reboot the system now, and if you haven't done so already, go ahead and plug in the rtl-sdr dongle. We need to make sure that all the software dependencies for compiling rtl-sdr are installed on the system. This is a lot to type in, so you can read the full video description for a listing of every command typed into the terminal today. So go ahead and do the sudo apt-get install for these packages, and after another wait, it will be ready to go. Next, we need to clone the official repository for rtl-sdr, so I'm going to do a git clone followed by the repository address. Next, we change directories to the rtl-sdr directory using cd rtl-sdr, and then we need to create a build directory by typing in make directory build. Switch over to the build directory with cd build. Next, we need to configure by typing in cmake /-deinstall UDEV rules equals on. After that's done, simply type in the command make. Wait for a while, and when that's done, type in sudo make install. When it's complete, type in sudo copy /rtl-sdr.rules /etc/udev/rules.d. And finally, type in sudo load config. Once again, this is probably the best point to reboot the system. Make sure your SDR and the antenna are properly connected, and then reopen the terminal. At this point, you should be able to test the system by typing in rtl_test. This command will characterize the SDR chipset, including the tuner. The tuner integrated circuit is the component that controls the frequencies that you can and cannot reach, And we can also see a list of possible gain settings for the internal amplifier. These are all presented in the decibel scale, which I've covered in an earlier video. Finally, if you have an audio system available, such as amplified speakers, you can connect the line-out audio connection on the Raspberry Pi itself to the line-in connection on your audio gear. Note that the Raspberry Pi usually can't drive earphones or earbuds directly without an amplifier. With everything in place, try to tune in to a local FM broadcast station by typing in the following command. In this case, we're using rtl-fm in wideband FM mode, or simply WB-FM. The frequency, -f, is measured in hertz, and you need to adjust this for the FM frequency or the FM station that's best for your area. We're piping this audio stream into the Linux aplay application at a rate of 32,000 bits per second. And if everything is working, you should now be able to hear live audio in the speakers. I have at least 2 more videos coming up on this topic in a fairly short period of time, including an update on the 2 early warning systems that I use when there's severe weather. SDRs are also useful for debugging and noise tracing if you do high-speed circuit design, and in the case of others like the Hacker F1, they can transmit signals at very low power. Once again, I'd like to thank TorGuard VPN for helping make this video possible. VPNs, or virtual private networks, can help you protect your online data, including on public networks like the guest networks that you can find in businesses, universities, and in airports. TorGuard VPN is the VPN service that I use, and when you use the link in the description, you can help protect your online data and Unboxing Tomorrow at the same time. Use the following promo code when you sign up for discounts. Stay posted for more updates and projects in electronics, robotics, and communication systems, and as always, have a great day.